Is this thing on?
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Okay. Hey, look at that.
Hey, we got matching cups. I got mine from this good-looking woman.
Awkward. Dude, my buddy texted me the other day. I'm sorry, we were together. I almost mistold the whole story. We were together, and he said that he's like, "You know who just texted me?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Your mom."
Your mom.
He's like, "No, I'm not even kidding. Look." I was like, "Oh, don't even joke with me."
That's fun. Well, we are
Say
back
something,
again. I'm saying something. There you go.
So rude and disrespectful. Respect your elders, young man. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. What episode are we? 96?
I think so.
Four
I think
left.
it's 96.
We got 4 left to do.
4 left before we die.
Hey, check that out.
Oh, you got is that a broadhead? Oh, what the? You showed me this. That doesn't make sense.
It makes
What is
perfect
that?
sense.
What
This is a pencil.
You gonna
Look
put
at
a
that.
pencil in your pocket?
Sharp pencil. Pencil cap. Sharp pencil. Amazing. Anyway, we had these when I was a kid, and I just thought for nostalgia's
Kinda cool.
sake, I picked them up. They're kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Are you drinking with a straw, little fella?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is something a friend just turned me on to. It's called a yerba. I don't know what it's called, but it's I think it's a Brazilian thing. The yerba mate straw.
No, when I was in Africa, this one guy carried this contraption around all day and kept adding water to it like a bunch of weeds in his cup.
Yep.
He kept sipping on it. So
Yerba mate. Yeah, I don't know if it's the whole reason that I got it is because it seems like the laziest and easiest way to drink tea. You put the loose tea in with the water, and then you just stick the straw down in there, and it filters it out. It's actually kind of neat. I have to show you this at risk of getting myself all wet. But you disengage the spring, and there are some holes under here.
Yes.
See those little holes? And then this
I see
covers
it.
the holes in such a way so that it filters out the ground. So this isn't yerba mate. I'm just drinking whatever we have.
Regular loose tea.
Mm-hmm.
Beat me again. All I had was this pencil cap.
Beat you again. No, the pencil cap. No, Doug, the pencil cap is neat. That's really cool.
It goes over your pencil.
Oh man, don't listen to me. Pencil caps are kind of fun.
You got a little hipster coffee tea drinker.
Yeah, no, it was my hipster friend too that had this. Turned me onto it.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, what you been up to?
I don't know, but today has been a miserable day.
Really?
Did you get this storm?
Oh, I can guess why it was for you. Yes, we did.
So here's a synopsis of my day. Wake up early, clean all the snow off my truck, go do my morning job, come home, have a coffee, go to my day job, shovel for an hour. Heavy snow.
Yeah.
Then it starts raining. Then I go into the office, and the outside pipe, this is going to be very complicated to explain.
Okay.
I'll make it really quick. Outside drain pipe froze. Flat roof, all the weight of the water wasn't draining.
No.
Frozen cap. So it blew it all out in this one poor fellow's office. And anyway, so I had to get it unthawed, get the water. I was chipping this outside drain, and I saw a little couple drops of water and a couple more drops of water, and then all of a sudden it just started spraying the little pinhole, and all of a sudden it just came flying out and just blew it all over the place. And
Oh no, this is today.
yeah, it was just blowing the water out. So anyway,
That's rough.
then I cleaned up that. Then I had to suck up all the water, clean up the carpets, redo all the ceiling tiles, and leave a fan on. But anyway, then it started snowing again. Then I had to show snow.
Yeah.
I had to shovel all the slush now. And remember about a month ago, I told you about my shoulder, how I think I ripped half my tendons out of my shoulder trying to hang on to that 4x8 sign. Well, yeah, that's really good for it. So anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's great.
Yeah. That's great.
That's good to hear.
Shovel with a sore shoulder. But anyway, it's just a gloomy day, and but it's warming up now. So
yes, that is an upside. That's happening here too. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, but we had a pile of snow over the weekend, so
it
was crazy. But yeah.
So how did you resolve the issue? Did I miss that? Was I not listening attentively enough? Did you resolve it?
No, I just chiseled out all the frozen cap, and then got the water out, and then it just blew out. And then it could drain normally. Yeah, that was it.
Okay, cool.
It's never happened in the 25 years I've been there before, so just a freak thing.
Of course. But, well, I mean, this is a considerable thaw, and the rain on top of it. I mean, you're getting the rain, right? So
we're getting rain right now, but it's going to turn to snow again. But last week it was so cold. Remember, last week was a deep freeze, so then everything froze solid. So that's why. But anyway, long story short, that was it.
I don't remember. I lost it. Oh, what was I going to say? Crud. This is, by the way, Doug, this is a tip. This is a tip for podcasts or videos. One thing that people, they always unequivocally respond. They love this, right? Is this? I do it all the time. People love that noise. It just gets them going, man. I get. Yeah. Some people think it's very attractive, that noise that I make. So I don't blame them.
Other people love it when you have a fan on high behind you too.
Oh, you're one to talk, Mr. Dogs Barking twice in a row, 2 podcasts in a row.
Oh, that's okay. 4 more to go.
You know what's great is there were 3 podcasts in a row where you, for reasons that didn't relate to you at all, they were just outside circumstances, made it sound so loud. And people immediately started writing in the comments, Doug, you did great, but Alec needs to turn his mic off when all the background...
You know what's funny?
And you didn't give me a chance to blame that fan noise on you.
No. And the other time I sat here, and I was sharpening a pencil. Remember? Did you hear that?
No.
Well, I was doing it right in front of the microphone, and you could hear me sharpening the pencil.
I like that.
But anyway,
that I like. I can deal with that sound any day. Yep.
What have you been up to?
I can't remember what I was going to say. I wanted to say something about the weather, man. We're not done with the small talk. Oh, come on. What is it? Oh, well, I was going to say, on top of it, we had the amount of snow that we have that's melting. And they talked about 4 inches of snow today, but is that still going to you said it's turning to snow. Is that going to happen, or is it just going to stay? Well, this is really relevant to everyone listening to this on Friday.
No, we got
I need to stop. Right. I need to stop.
Probably have to cut the grass by Friday. Yeah.
Right, exactly. No, they'll be like, "What snow?"
We got that snow this morning. That was we had a heavy snowfall this morning, and then turned to rain.
Really?
That's why it's so heavy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I've been up to,
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We're gonna cut to a break.
Right. Tell us about all
we're back, everyone.
Deer head installed.
Yes, well, it is done, actually, and there's a story about that. It's not installed yet because I've yet to take pictures of it, but I have been planning this paint job, right? I've been thinking about it a lot. The artist that I'm trying to emulate that I like a lot, he paints his carvings, and I'm excited about that. So I bought all the paints, the expensive, nice paints that I wanted. I mean, expensive to me. I mean, $20 for a big thing of paint isn't terrible, but it's still artist paint, right? And I don't really have a lot of fancy acrylics. I do have oils, but I'm switching to acrylics because well, I don't know, oils aren't as good for you, and yeah. So, and you know that using them indoors, I'm not outside.
They dry slow too.
Yep, exactly. So I show up. I had to wait, I don't know, 4 or 5 days because they kept delaying my shipment. They were like, it's going to come on the 16th of this past month. And then they pushed it to the 19th, then the 21st. I get the paint. I show up to my parents' house where the deer is because they have a giant barn and I'm doing all the chainsaw work there. And this thing is huge. So it's sitting there in their shop, and I start the fire and I start painting it. And it's been sealed, right? I've got 2 coats at this point of tung oil on it. And I start under the neck because a white-tailed deer has a big white spot underneath the neck. And I'm super excited about it. I'm just getting in there. I'm dry brushing it, right? Everyone's saying dry brush. That's the way. That's what you do. That's what Abby does. But everyone I know, I don't paint a lot of carvings, right? So I'm kind of nervous. I start painting under this thing. And my heart starts beating. And I'm like, this doesn't look good, man. This doesn't look good at all. This is bad. This looks like crap. It doesn't look good. Something about the color of the deer. Oh, Kenny, you know better. Something about the color of the deer. Let me text him. Like, it just didn't suit the painting. It's like it looked good as a piece of wood shaped like a deer, but when I started to try and bring it towards the color palette of the deer, it looked more wrong than it was before. Does that make sense?
Starts looking fake. Yeah.
Starts looking fake. It looks super fake. So I paint the whole neck and I stand back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get this off now. So I run over to the opposite end of the shop. I get the spray cleaner. I'm spraying this thing and I'm rubbing it. And this small white area is getting bigger and whiter and it's all over the deer. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope this stuff wipes off. So I get my dry cloth and I start wiping it off. And thank God, most of it, if not all of it, it's completely gone, right? All of it was gone by the end of the thing. But anyway, I was just staring at this thing going, I can't put paint on any of this. So I FaceTime the customer. I'd never do this, right? The customer, believe it or not, like I said last week, is not that involved in the middle stages. They're very involved at the beginning. I'll take drawings. I'll take whatever inspiration you want to give me. But from that point, from the beginning of that carving, this is my thing now. I'm going to do the best that I can. But I break my typical rules. I FaceTime the guy. I show him the thing. I'm like, dude, I cannot touch this with paint. We've already discussed painting it. He's great with the idea of painting it. And he's like, man, I don't know. Why do you need to paint it? And I was like, yes. He's like, that looks great the way it is. It looks really good. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And so I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, okay, man, I tried to paint it and it just doesn't, I don't know. I just like the way the wood looks coming through the piece. And so I hang up with him. I call my brother. I'm showing my brother. And he goes, I think you're probably right, but why don't you just, maybe you could just try painting just like the dark parts. My dad shows up in the shop at the same time and he goes, here, just take some electrical tape and put it over the eye. I put some electrical tape over the eye to add to the confusion. Black looks good on the eye. That's just simple enough of an addition to where it doesn't like subtract from it. Doesn't look like I'm trying to, make it look like anything it isn't. And so he's like, try that on the nose. So I'm putting the black
nose,
electrical tape on the nose, right? Because the nose is black too. And before you know it, I'm calling the guy back and I'm going back on my word. And I'm like, oh, what do you think about this? I don't know. At this point, I look like a wishy-washy dude. And so he's so gracious. He's like, yeah, man, actually, that does look really good. And so anyway, long story longer, I ended up burning the nose and the eyes and just left it natural. Other than that, yeah, there you go. See, that's it, right there.
This is linseed oil with a black nose.
Put it towards the center. Yeah. No, people can see it. Yep.
Right. The black just.
Yep. That's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yep. But if you started trying to emulate bare tone where the light spots and the dark spot, it just gets too much, right?
Now, did you wet your paint?
I didn't end up painting it. Yeah, oh yeah, it was. I tried it different ways. I did a real thinned version, and then I did a dry brush. I didn't like either.
Yeah.
I tried to thin it out a little bit. I might have been able to get away with some lighter paint, but no, I just
Yeah.
I didn't like the way it
No,
looked. So I haven't. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I get it. I understand.
So I'll have
Would
some better pictures to show, but this is what I've got for now. I don't know if you can even see
oh
that with the
yeah,
reflection. So
yeah, I can actually see it pretty good today.
that's
That's
good.
sweet. That's very
Yeah,
nice.
thanks. So I'm happy with it. And
It looks like you dirtied up the antlers a little bit too.
no, you know what? Just the clear coat. That's all. Here, let me zoom in on that. That it's actually really fun the way that worked out. Is the antlers are just crazy figured, like all this spalting, and it's just
Okay.
basswood. Yeah,
Well,
look at
how
this.
perfect is that?
Look how fun. Look at the. Can you see the
Yeah,
spalting at all?
they look natural.
Yeah, all that different coloration going on. So anyway, I'll take some pictures of it, get the lighting going and everything. But yeah, the black. I just burned the eyes and the nose, and I think it. I think that suits it pretty well. Just minimal
Yeah,
stuff, nothing crazy.
yeah,
So
I'm totally with you.
anyway,
Yep,
so it's done, ready for paint, and then as far
ready
as
for
other
paint.
stuff,
What
ready
do you
for
mean ready
paint,
for
ready
paint?
for pictures. I've been
Okay.
doing this, dude. I was talking about band-aids in a video today, and then for some reason I interchanged. What did I interchange the word? Something like, oh man, I don't know, like sausage or something instead of band-aid. Something so off. Where's my?
Have you ever been sitting there editing a video,
Yep.
totally clueless about what you said, just listening to yourself and editing the video, and you're like, "Why would you say that? That was
Right.
like screw up a word. Like
Yep.
it's just something simple, but it's totally the opposite, and you can't edit it out. So I always end up
Right.
typing something out and making a little thing saying, "No, I mean this." Like a little word
Yep.
comes up, but yeah,
Same. Yeah. But it's like, usually it's something in the ballpark, but sometimes it's just like you miss. It's the difference between What is that Mark Twain quote? The right word versus the wrong word is the difference between a lightning bug and a lightning bolt.
that's pretty good.
So I do that all
Uh,
the time. Anyway, so oh, I don't want to bore people, but yeah, a lot of just boring stuff like working. They say like work on the business, not just in the business. And so that's what I've been doing a lot of like this past week is just kind of trying to organize myself. I spent a few hours trying to come up with a
that's
calendar and
we're the same. If you ask, I
really
don't even know what I carved. I carved a few sticks and stuff this week, but I've just been organizing and playing, sharpening, trying
yeah.
different things, and
Yep.
yeah, I haven't. Yeah, in fact, I was thinking to myself, I'm taking my YouTube break still, obviously,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and I'm more jumbled and screwed up now than I was when I was making videos because I had a purpose. So now I'm just jumping all over the place, like from one thing to
right.
the next, just all over
Right.
the map. And
Yep.
I was like, this is not good. Get your
Mm-hmm.
head on straight, Dougie. But anyway,
Yeah. I remember being really stressed out about school, and my then girlfriend's mom was saying something like, "You know what, though? Having a little bit more in your life can actually add some structure to the rest of your life, too." I was like, that can't be right. Sure enough, I got going on school, and it was like other things felt a little bit easier because I knew I only have between noon and 5 o'clock to work on wood carving stuff, so I better get it done. It's like
yeah,
organizes you a
and
little bit.
to be fair, like some of these silly things are like, how do I prefer to sharpen? Maybe I'll do it two different ways and see which one I like. But I would never
Yeah.
do that in a million years. You know, I,
Yeah.
I would never do a
Oh.
head to head different types of sharpening just to see which one I like better. I would never have time for that
Yeah.
to fool around and play. So I
Oh,
guess that's
remind me
healthy in a
about
way.
the. Maybe that is actually, yeah. I was gonna say, remind me to tell you about my cheapest tool review video because that really speaking of wasting time. Um, but yeah, I get that. I
Tell
get
me
that.
about your cheapest tool review video. I didn't see one. Did you? Is it out?
No, I didn't post it. No, well, I spent and when I say all of yesterday, I mean from gosh, scripted some videos in the morning, but from late morning until 5 o'clock yesterday, all I did was try to make one 15-minute video. I had so many takes, so many bad takes. I had too strong. Sometimes you know when you have too strong of a vision for what you want it to be, like to a T, like you know what you're gonna do. You're like, I'm gonna do a video where it's gonna be like a review of the cheapest tool set on the internet, and I'm gonna make this video great. And man, I don't know that the 500th take was any better than the first take. I'm not even convinced. Looking back, watching the video, it's hard for me to watch it now. So,
Okay.
So I spent the entire day just trying to make one, like, it was 12 minutes long. 12 minutes long. And I mean, all it is, it's not a complicated video. It's just like about this tool set that I bought, a few years ago from China. So,
well, here's a little trick that I've learned over the last few years is that I don't talk much. I probably talk the most in this hour than I do the rest of the week, right? Mm-hmm. And I find when I go to make a video, same thing. I'll have like 10 false starts, and I can't say. I'm falling over my words, and I don't know what to say. So now, if it's a carving video, I will. I'll just start carving, and then I'll do the intro after I'm all warmed up and I've thought and talked through the carving and stuff, and then I'll go back and say, "Hey guys, today we're gonna," and then I can say I know what I'm thinking about the whole time I'm doing the project or carving or whatever, and then I'll go back and do the intro after.
Yep.
Because to start out, you don't know where you're headed or where you're going, and then you've got a real good a good grasp on it when you're done to introduce it. So.
Man, that is such good advice, and that's typically what I try to do. In fact, that's how they teach you to write papers. Like, you don't write the title of your paper until the paper is done, because who are you to say what the paper is going to be about until you've written it? And so that's really good advice. I will, that was my big mistake. You just hit it right on the head, because what I was doing was I did everything backwards. I had everything set up. I wasn't thinking. Got all the lighting ready for the intro shot. And I'm like, son of a gun, I have to do the carving part first. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Oh, but I got the light all adjusted. I got the fill. I got the camera set up. I just got to do it. 5 hours later, I had to script the whole thing out.
Do you talk to yourself on the camera too? Because I go like, today we're going to do. Oh, you stupid idiot! You moron!
Oh, yeah.
Starting
for sure.
I call myself names all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes Sophie can hear me upstairs. Is like, you're so hard on yourself.
I know. I made my wife cry telling her the names I call myself when I'm in here. She's like, "You really think that?" I was like, "Yeah, sometimes." That's good. We have good wives.
Well, tell me what you call yourself, and then I'll stop calling you those things.
Finally, I realize it's not me. It's
Doug. Doug's been putting that in my head.
It's Doug.
I'm worthless. I'm useless.
Mean to me, dude. And then I always insist. For some reason, this month I insist on making videos that are about safety, which no one wants to watch a video with somebody wagging their finger and going, "This is how you hold the tool. Here's how you make a Band-Aid." A butterfly bandage, whatever. So,
but they like those tool videos, don't they?
They do. Yeah, they do like the tool videos, which is
people love tool videos. They just love buying stuff.
That's it. Yep. Yeah. We guys,
and I'm no different.
Right.
To be, if I see some cool gadget, so I'm like, oh, let's see if I can find that.
It's so the threshold is so low to just jump into something like that, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. I get that.
But hopefully, most of them are pencil caps and not expensive forged tools or something.
Oh man. Well, dude, Abby's a good salesman. Abby Peterson, he wasn't making anything off of this sale, but he was we were talking about it, and I was like, man, I need to get a new I think I told this story, but I need to get a new chainsaw bar. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, if you, and I'm like, but eventually I need to get a new saw. He's like, well, that's not a professional saw what you have now. And you're a professional. I'd say you're ready for a professional saw. And I'm like, dang it, you're right.
Yeah. I
Compliment
am.
me, butter
I
me up.
am.
Hey, I'm a
Yeah.
professional,
Yeah.
aren't I?
Yeah.
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 You know what? And it's worth it. 261, chainsaw. It's about $700, but it's worth every penny. Oh,
Well, I
did
need it. It's a tool for my
yeah.
work,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Of
Right?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I need
this is what
a
I do.
chainsaw.
Yeah.
This is my
Yeah.
job. I need it. Best of the best.
If I don't have the
And
tools, how can I do the job?
I'll have to wait an extra 4 or 5 seconds cutting this log if I use my old chainsaw.
Pegas scroll bandsaw.
Mm.
PEGAS. I couldn't think of it last week. Pegas. So I'm watching another video by
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, and he has one.
Really?
Yeah, he was talking about his cutouts, how smooth they were, and he goes, "But if you just have a regular bandsaw, I have a scroll bandsaw." I'm like, "Oh, another one."
Oh.
So,
Oh, these look cool. Precision scroll saw. Whoa. Even the little one seems awesome. So it has as a spiral, you said?
well, you can take. I've been to woodworking shows where they've taken like a 6-inch block of wood, going through that,
Mm-hmm.
turning it on a dime, and going any way they want to go. Like it's amazing, like the depth of wood, even. So they're not a Mickey Mouse outfit whatsoever. So
Yeah, no Mickey Mouse here. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, the saw blades to me, they almost look like a standard like a
I
bandsaw,
think
but
there's
just
a
way smaller. Way smaller.
yeah, there's scroll saw blades on a
Yeah.
band. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Oh, it is on a band.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Now that is cool. See, we didn't need to talk about this. You're a professional, Doug. You deserve it.
I should have one.
You should
All
have
I
one.
can see, I would probably horse my wood, push it too hard, and break blades and get very frustrated and angry. And
Right.
I don't need one if I only carve one by ones.
True.
This is my other
True
tangent
that.
this week.
Mm.
I'm trying to figure out. I introduced tools. I did knife only carvings for years, and then I started introducing tools. And then I was saying to myself, what about this one tool efficiency stuff? There's something to that also.
Yeah.
So then I was doing faces with the gouge, with just a knife. I think I can do a better job with gouges and tools. But there's something cool about just using a knife and having a piece of wood and one knife, and you put it in your pocket and you can go anywhere and do anything. Just no, you don't need all the sharpening gear, strops, and a piece of wood.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to go on a little flat plane tangent for a while, and for the next week or two, I think, and then we'll see how I like that too, because I love the look of flat plane carving. The downside of flat plane carving to me is the eyes. I want to make eyes. I don't want to paint on eyes, and most of the die-hard flat plane guys. That's why I say I'll just be a knife carver. I won't call it flat plane. My carvings will have planes, but I'm going to have a little bit more details to them, you know.
Yep.
But the die-hard flat plane guys just make little cuts and they paint the eyes in. But I want to make an eye. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think both are cool. Yeah, but I can see that. I can see wanting to do the carved eyes. I kind of tried to. I don't know. Yeah, I think I just when I was doing more whittling, which eventually I'll get back to doing some of it. I was definitely just trying to take the middle ground there, like not go full complicated eyes with the knife, but just try and get it as simple as possible with the V cuts. And that seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah, you had a different style of cutting. You weren't trying to do flat plane whatsoever. You
No,
were
no, that's true.
you were you
Not even
were
close.
you were carving, like realistically
Yeah,
carving. Yeah,
right. But trying to just stick with the knife mostly.
yeah.
So,
So anyway,
yeah.
that's another little aside. But
hmm I get it. I think it's so cool when you can see somebody do something awesome with just only a knife. It's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Remember, one guy got in the comments. I have to bring. Why do I? I'm now the guy bringing up all the negative comments. But somebody the other year, like a last year or 2 years ago, in one of my whittle videos, was saying something that just struck me as funny more than annoying. They were like, "You said it was just one tool, but you used a pencil, a ruler, a strop."
Stick it. Yeah, that's stupid.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, somebody doesn't understand what I'm talking about."
There was a comment. I won't say who or what or whatever, but I just want to write down. What are you 2? Are you 2 years
Right.
old?
Yeah.
Again, grown man. Like, what are
Right.
you 2? Like,
Yeah.
grow up. So
It was just funny. I just thought the person. A lot of times, I misunderstand people that are just being funny. Like one guy quit the school. Like I just started this thing where I'll like do a shout out to the new people that joined the school. You know, like
okay.
hey, on the Facebook forum, like here's a list. You know, of all the people who just joined. Say hi, everyone. And it'll be like 20 people. I'll wait 20 or 30 people, and I got a guy who, in the reasons when you cancel the school, you have to. You don't have to, but usually you're required to put some sort of a reason why. So I understand
Yeah.
how to improve. And he says I wasn't included on the welcome list when I started, and I was like, who is this guy? How pedantic can you possibly be? And then so I responded as nicely as I could, like, sorry you weren't mentioned. I just kind of came up with that recently. And he's like, oh man, I really didn't think that you read this. Number one, number two, I was totally kidding. I was
Oh,
like,
that's perfect.
that's
He
actually a
gotcha.
funny joke. I
Yeah,
just
that is
didn't get
good.
it. You can't. There's no tone. You can't read tone into a sentence like that.
I don't. Not to pick on anybody in particular, but like, there's a wit that I don't always get either, and so I find a lot of the English guys. The first time I read something, I'm offended,
Right.
and then if I really sit there and think about it, like, oh well, maybe he, I mean, like, there's
Yep.
just ways of saying things differently that I'm not used to, and I'm
The
easily
United
offended because
Kingdom has a different sense of humor.
yeah, and of course I'm always self-critical, so I
Yep.
always read things with my
Yes.
self-critical brain,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
right? So
I do that.
and of
Yeah.
course, most of the time they mean nothing by it. It's just how I read things, and
Yep.
usually it takes my wife to straighten me out. She goes,
Oh,
"Well,
that's why
why
we're
would you
married.
take it like that? Why would you take it like that? They don't mean it like that." Like,
Yep.
oh,
Oh,
I'm glad I
dude.
didn't respond.
You literally. You're. Yeah. Yes. You're reading my mail, dude. Literally, I mean that in what am I saying, metaphorical sense? Because I was literally just reading an email to my wife. I'm like, listen to this jerk, reading it off.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in this. I'm interested in this. I'm very trying to find out about that, and I don't know if this is the thing. And I'm like, can you believe he's just? Why would I even respond to this email? He's such a jerk. And she's like,
Yeah.
the guy just wants to know if you can take a commission order. What's wrong with you? I'm like, bro, yeah, you're right. Just like,
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what we do when you put things out there. You're always awaiting the criticism, right? Like every time you put yourself out there, it's like, okay, I got my shield ready. I'm gonna deflect all these comments are coming.
Oh,
So,
here's one that I just pinned. I have to. This is out of joy more than anything else. If I can find it, I don't have to find it. But the guy is like, oh, here's the video. I'm just gonna find it. I'm sorry. If you can fill the time, better yet. But this is just too
this
good.
is what I will say: wood carvers are so much nicer than the outdoors folks that I used to deal with all the time. Like people would just outright call me just nasty names and stuff, but
Right.
I find the wood carving community is so much nicer and kinder. So I don't have.
I shouldn't even bother. I shouldn't even fuel this guy's fire. It's not worth it. But it was just a funny. He was just like, basically like, I'm gonna do the opposite thing you said in every one of your videos. It's just so funny.
Yeah, but that is an actual troll too. Like people do
Yeah,
make comments just to see if you will
yeah,
respond.
right,
And like, oh, I didn't
right.
think you'd read that when you come back at them. Like, I didn't think you were. Well, why'd you write something in the public forum? But anyway,
I like to pin those comments sometimes. That's what I did with this one. It's like,
I used to. Now I
oh,
just don't. I don't bother anything. Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
just
It's just
you thicken up a little bit, but
right.
but
Yes.
what I wanted to talk about was, and this kind of goes in with my media, but
Hmm.
I'll jump ahead because this week I listened to the Making It podcast, which is my favorite thing to do. And this is why
Hmm.
I understand when our podcast does not come out on a Friday or on time, because I can't
Hmm.
wait for Friday because the
Hmm.
Making It podcast comes out. And there's three guys, Jimmy Dresta, Bob Claggett, and
Which, by
Dave
the way, guys,
Picciuto.
our podcast does come out on Thursday now, just so you know. For those
Yeah,
of you who are upset because it comes out a day early, Thursday, 10 a.m. That's the new thing.
for now. And
Well, we only got four more left, so.
that's right. Uh, but I listened to their podcast, and Dave Picciuto, who has, I think his YouTube is Make Something, and he was saying that he went on Pinterest,
Hmm.
and he was making, I forget what, I think it was maybe a side table or something, and he went on
Hmm.
Pinterest, saw something cool, recreated it, made a video, and he
Hmm.
got an email from the
I'm
guy who
building
made.
every piece of furniture
Oh,
in this house.
jeez. I just clicked on the make something guy's channel, and this video started playing. Go ahead.
Oh, anyway, he made like a side table or something.
Hmm.
And so the guy whose design it was called him out, said, "You stole my
No.
design."
Oh no.
And that was from him just scrolling Pinterest. To be fair, a lot of times you see a cool picture,
Hmm.
they get no credit,
Right.
right? But I want to tie that in with my week because this week I sent you screenshots of a YouTube channel that just totally stole my videos
Oh yeah.
and uploaded my exact videos.
Yep.
And I had my Instagram.
Mhm.
Someone added a one, Doug Linker one,
Create a
with
fake account.
my logo and
Mhm.
messaged a lot of my followers. I don't know if
Mhm.
they wanted to get something or what, but luckily we were quick
Wait.
enough to catch it.
Wait a second. You didn't want the money for that emergency surgery that you had last week?
No.
Are you serious?
So I don't know what they were
Oh.
asking, but we got the. Luckily,
I
they
sent
were
you
quick to
$1,200 American, dude.
Well, you'll have to send it again.
No, that's all right. Oh.
Anyway, and again with our mailbag questions of weeks past, and I get asked all the time, like when you put a tutorial or a picture up, like, can I make that?
Mhm.
And so anyway, I thought it'd be kind of a fun conversation to say, like, have you ever been ripped off exactly, or do you care?
Mhm.
What is your feeling about when you put yourself out there and you give something? Like when I make a tutorial, I expect you to carve it, right? Like
Right.
that's why I made a tutorial, for crying out loud, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know what do you think about it? Have you ever been like totally ripped off? And so Dave was saying, he's like, I feel bad. I'm wrong. I should have researched farther.
Right.
But all he really had to do was say, hey, shout out to Joe Blow who created this first,
Yep.
you know, and that's all
Right.
people really want is the credit, right?
Yep.
So anyway, so he's trying to figure
Yeah.
out how he's going to make restitution to this guy.
Yeah. Right.
But it was very interesting. So then they talked about all these things, and so I remember years back, I was accused of stealing from somebody
Mm.
who, because they stole something from somebody else first, so then they claimed it for their own, and it was just a carving thing, a very simple, petty little thing. But they
Yeah.
created a forum, and they had a big discussion about me using it. But the funny part is that before I ever carved this thing, I messaged the person, and he said, "Oh, that's not my idea. Go for it." And then people were sending me screenshots of Facebook. He's talking about me that I stole this thing. But anyway, I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, how? What do you do with that?
I don't care, but I am bringing it up in a public forum again.
No, but what do you do with that? You know,
I'm just teasing you. No, I would care. I think that's annoying. That's so stupid. You know, it happens to me all the time. I had 3 or 4 videos that were, I got, you know, the copyright infringement notification. You click on this link, and yeah, I saw there's these people are just literally copying and pasting my videos onto their feeds. I did
yeah.
yesterday. I was just sending copyright infringement notices to like 5 videos, and I got emails from 2 or 3 of these guys saying, "Hello, sir. Would you? Looking back now, I realize that I did in fact copy your video or part of your video in the process of making this. Is there any chance that you could remove the copyright infringement just this once? Thank you, sincerely, Mindy." I'm like, what? Why would I do that?
I had that channel remove my videos, but I have lots
Right.
of copyright infringement notices
Right.
of carving clubs
Oh,
that have used my
Yep.
videos in their club, and I'm like, great,
that's fine.
that's
Right.
wonderful, good
Right.
for you, use it, you know. But if
Yeah.
you're going to make money
Mm-hmm.
off my video, no, forget that. If you're going to make a channel
Mm-hmm.
with my stuff, then I've
Right.
worked too hard for that.
Oh
Right?
yeah, and that's all
But
this channel was. It was people. It was this guy. You know, multiple videos of mine. He was just repurposing other people's wood carving
yeah.
videos, people
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
and just piling them up and posting them
Wow.
as long form videos.
Every video I've ever made is on
No.
is it Billy B in China,
Mm.
and there's nothing you can do about it. But I've had companies reach out saying we could manage your videos on this Billy B, and I'm like, I don't trust you either.
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta let it go. But anyway, for example, remember I talked about that carving? I painted that one carving because I said, well, this is totally an Alec Lacasse carving. So I painted it just to be a little bit different. But again,
on.
but
Who
you're
cares?
teaching it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're
Yeah.
teaching it, you expect people to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we're
Yep.
talking about like Pinterest. When you go on Pinterest and
Mhm.
you search, I don't think there's anything new in the world anymore.
Yeah.
There may be a little signature, little move, or something that you do.
Sure.
But what do you actually own when you put yourself out there and show off your work? You know,
My wife has a TikTok account that she runs for me, and she just started posting maybe like a few months ago. And yeah, they're just slowly ramping up, a few views, maybe a couple hundred views, maybe 1,000 views, something like that. Finally up into like 1,000 views. And I went on there to Google to check on it to see how my videos are doing a couple of weeks ago. And the video that pops up, the first one, is not my video. It's someone else posting my content, and it had like 800 likes. And I was just like, this guy's getting more likes than I do on my own videos.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, this is crazy. What is this weird world of social media where, especially with TikTok, there's no recourse. I can't do anything to get that video taken down. And there's some guy with some channel who's doing better than I am with my content.
Yeah.
How do I get over that? That's hilarious.
Yeah. Like all these things added all together in the 1 week, I was like, I don't even want to be on the internet.
Right.
It's just gross.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I mean, I guess the fact that for me, I went many months without anyone wanting to copy my videos. So I guess I'll just take it as a compliment because, well, I'll still report them. Don't.
Yes.
I'm not encouraging anyone out here to do that. I'm going to report you, but at the same time, that sounded like a threat. I will report all of you, just the ones that do the copyright stuff. But yeah.
But I know, like Wood Carving Illustrated, I know they've had run-ins with people too that somebody makes an article of a carving and submits it, and then somebody else says, "Well, that's my carving. I did that just because your woodsman has an axe. Mine has an axe too." Well, guess what? A woodsman has an axe, right? Like, there's a lot of that. So anyway. Maybe that's more of a rant than anything, but it's just
it's good. It's a good topic.
Like, what's new? You know.
Right. Well, I was talking to my wife about this. It's like I find that when I've tried to like take from people's content, like direct ideas and then from different videos piece it together and try to make my own thing, it doesn't work as well as when I just enjoy what I enjoy and I let that subconsciously influence what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But the refining process is not looking at other people's content. It's what am I doing that's working? How can I refine that?
Yeah. That's
So
fair.
I am still taking an inspiration from other people. That's what being human is. We're
Yeah.
social beings. We learn from social memetics. We learn from watching other people do things the right way. And so that's good. But that's going to happen. I don't need to consciously try and direct that. What's better is seeing where I'm at, what I'm doing well, and how I can improve on that. And
Yeah.
that's I'm finally figuring out. That's the sweet spot is, and that's how you find your lane. That's not copying someone else's.
Yeah. Yeah. In the beginning when I was doing videos, like I did Larry Green's Christmas tree, but I called it Larry's Christmas tree. And then Bob's Simple Santa, I did that.
Yeah.
It was Bob's Simple Santa, and those guys were happy,
Right.
right, that I did that. But
Yep.
now I have people doing Doug's Bear.
Right.
Well, how can I say anything?
Right.
I don't care. Do my
Right.
bear, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just, I guess there's a line that some people, you got to choose which side you're on. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
Oh,
Like,
the line is hard because I think anyone who's done anything that has been copied can relate to feeling like for instance, I go on Instagram and I will see people's feed, and I'll see that they'll be doing a project from the school, and I think that's great. Let me read the description, and it's just like, oh yeah, just the most recent carving, came up
one
with
of a
this,
kind.
yeah. Came up with this the other day. I don't know where the inspiration came from. Just hit me, came like the wind, and left as quickly as it came. And then I'm like, that's my project! You're my brother's school! And
Yeah.
so I'll just be commenting, great job on that one. Looks a little familiar. No, I won't say
Yeah.
it looks familiar, but I'm thinking that. But that's very, very rare. People are very generous for the most part, and they'll say like, oh yeah, project from the school. And they don't even have to do that.
No,
You can
no,
take
no.
it's their work, but I get the impulse to feel like that's so like stop, that's annoying. Credit the person. But then again, same thing you're talking about. I mean, I spent the first like 6 years of my carving life copying Ron Adamson,
Yep.
Ian
Yep.
Norbury, Jeff Ferris was in there a little bit. I mean, all those guys, like who cares? Who cares? And they were great. Tell you what, the biggest impact that my carving career was those people, Jeff Ferris, Ron Adamson, commenting on my carvings and going like, yeah, nice, good job, that was great, like
Yeah, for
they
sure.
life made. So think about the impact that you have on those people who are
Yeah.
not expecting to hear from you, who are just so elated that you even thought to respond to their post or their project. So
Yep.
that's a good place to be, having that position in people's life.
I want to show you something. So fill some time for a sec.
Okay, I'm gonna make that noise that I think people love. They love that noise, right? So I'll just do it.
What's he saying?
Oh, nothing. You wouldn't get it.
Okay. Anyway, so just to piggyback on this whole idea, so I got these books a while ago. This is the Character Carvers of America. This one is the eyes.
Ooh.
And this one is the noses. Pick your nose and carve it. Right? So
like
this is all the, 24 maybe of the Character Carvers clan. And they all show how to do their eyes and their noses.
That's cool.
It is. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
And so the same idea is, are they going to claim their eyes when you carve them?
These are my eyes.
If I do Bob's eyes here and Joe's nose,
yeah, right.
Credit to Bob for the eyes and Joe for the nose. No, there's nothing. It's, I don't know. If you put it out there, you gave it away.
Yeah.
I think. Yes?
Well, and the people that are watching your video, again, reiterating, the people that are watching your videos, especially you, particularly Doug, they look up to you in a lot of ways, and they want to emulate you, and even the idea of you looking at them and responding positively has a huge impact and improves their life, and it only does you good doing others good in that way. I mean, that's different than somebody stealing your content and
That's what I
then
was going to say. The whole
making
concept
money
of
on
this
it.
conversation is that
Mm-hmm.
I put these things out here, take them, use
Mm-hmm.
them.
Right.
Don't steal my videos.
Exactly.
That's all it is, right?
Yeah, it'd be like if somebody at the end of a video snuck into your house and stole the carving itself, took
Yeah.
that home and posted it on their Instagram story and was like, "Yeah,
No, they sold it
just
and they
made
made
this."
money.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
They sold
auctioned
it
it off.
and they made the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this all stemmed from, like I said, that, and then somebody else that had put a teaching out there, and then someone used it, and then it's like,
Right.
well, that's mine. Well, no, you put it out there, it's yours.
Right.
And congratulations for finding a hobby.
Yeah.
Right? Good for you.
Yeah, right.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
So I was just getting frustrated. Like, I know Blake, Blake Lunsford, does this fantastic Santa, and he put the videos on YouTube. Well, same idea, I guess, would be for my carvings too, but all of a sudden you start seeing Blake Santas all over.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Blake kind of lost his Santa, but then it got him a little kick in the butt to switch it up, and now he does them differently too. So it's always a process of growing and changing, and I don't know. I guess I don't know where I'm going with this conversation.
Oh, it's good. I think it's great to have.
Yeah. But anyway, it's just the point was, if I teach you how to do it, I'm not doing it for any other reason than for you to do it.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And living with open-handedly is good. My dad would always say that growing up. I think he really harped on this. Is like, you'll never lose anything by showing somebody how you do what you do. You know how a lot of grandmas get with their recipes,
Yes.
I mean, my dad, I remember he had really great, I mean, these are people, really great people, have high character, they're very faithful people, they're God-fearing people. And they're at the same time, in the same hand, they go, look, I'm going to tell you something about my work, but you can't tell anyone. I mean, proprietary information is a thing, but this was like stuff that's just like, come on. You're not going to tell people about the fact you use, Elmer's glue to, I don't know, you know what I mean? Stuff like this. Yeah. And that's fine. It's their prerogative. Don't get me wrong. But in my mind, it's, and the way that I was raised is like, you will never lose anything from sharing your secrets and in the skills of your trade, because people generally, they won't even, they won't put it all to use anyway. If you're afraid of that, if that's what you're afraid of, worst case scenario, that they'll use it against you. It's like, they mostly won't, but hopefully they use some of it.
I'm not saying you have to share either.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, the grandma's recipe. Yeah.
Yeah. Like some things, like if you were selling something and you didn't want to give out, because you're so original, and it's so different, and you're only selling them to make money, then yeah, why would you give the recipe to Coca-Cola or whatever, you know what I mean? So, well, but we're in hobby land here. That's
exactly it. Yeah, we're not Coca-Cola. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I don't make anything that is that proprietary. I'm not smart enough, but
well, but again, that's what I was saying. Like, here you have 2 books. You got 24 noses. You got 24 sets of eyes. Like, you just mix everything up, and eventually you become who you are.
Yep.
But in the beginning, you'll always be copying to learn, and then, like you said, when you start piecemealing everything together, your style will come out.
Yeah. Right.
All on its own with practice. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking on that note. Do we have mail, by the way? Because I'll shut up if we have mail, because we need to get it.
We only have one, so keep going.
Okay, well, I'll make it quick. But this whole region of Val Gardenia, or I think it's called, or something like part commune in Europe, northern Italy. All these carvings, excuse me. This is also a very appealing sound. People love when you clear your throat in the camera. I have a way. I just have a way with people. I don't know if you've noticed, but in radio, I could do radio if I wanted to. Anyway, all very similar styles, very super realistic carving comes out of this area. Super hyper realistic, life-size figures, all like naturalistic, all lime wood. It seems like lime wood for the most part, which is like just European basswood, and and everyone has their own twist on that. Like you can see the older guys have the just straight, kind of more straight laced, and then the younger guys are throwing paint on there and adding weird shapes and animals and all kinds of interactions with the figures, and it's like it's fun to see that progression and to see that they're all influencing each other, but in such a way to where, I mean, it's elevated. Like everyone's making amazing, amazing carvings in that region somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's cool to see that.
Yeah, but if one guy, his signature was he carved a little anchor on the elbow of the one. Well, you wouldn't do that. That's
right.
But,
yeah. I see what you're saying. So where's the line of respecting somebody versus copying them? What would offend you don't want to offend the artist. Like when I found out about Bruno Wolpath, he's one of those guys in that area I talked about. I tried, putting white gesso on one of my carvings like he does, and then rasping all the excess away in a big log, and I tried that, and I took it to a competition, and man, those judges, by the way, it wasn't that good of a carving. It was not that good of a carving, but the judges tore it apart. They're like, why is it all covered in paint? You didn't finish it. But one judge was like, I think I know what this guy's doing. He's trying to copy Bruno Wolpath. We have to at least give him 5th or 6th place. That's honorable. He at least knows who Bruno Wolpath is. So they gave me a pity award. And he came up to me afterwards. He's like, let me tell you, they were not about to give you 6th place here, buddy. I'm like, they weren't even going to give me 6th place. No, but I was glad to have gotten anything. That was my first time at that show and competition, and in all fairness, I wasn't prepared. I finished the carving in the basement of the home I stayed in right the night before I got there. So pretty much is the theme if ever I've competed at the International Congress, whatever it's called, CBDROMLO. I've always finished the carvings in the basement of the home that I'm staying in before I submit them. I'm always fighting myself right before I submit them. It's like, I probably shouldn't even bother.
That's because you have ADHD and you're a procrastinator.
Right. Yeah. And the only way I can submit it is if I finish it the day before. I don't know. So
pressure's on.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I think we beat that to death. I want to give a big shout out to Shawnee and our anonymous coffee buyer. But thanks, guys. Woo! We appreciate you.
Cheers.
Cheers. You want to do that? Okay. Go ahead. Oh.
Mailbag.
There you go. One question. We got one question here. Travis says, first of all, love the show on both your channels. I've learned so much for you. Thanks. I have been carving for a few years, and I've recently run into the problem of how to store his knives, gouges, and other tools. I can see Alex's solution, magnetic solution, but I do not have. Okay, I just lost my spot.
Sorry.
But I do not have a dedicated wall space to be able to do the same thing. Right now, I put knives back in their original packaging and stored with the books and apron, carving gloves, and whatnot. Do you have any suggestions for how to safely and conveniently store your equipment, preferably that I can move around with me to different rooms in the house? Well, Travis, I do.
Let's see.
I have recently taken up the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
Only I've incorporated the magnet
Ooh. I like
the
that.
little
Look at all those tools.
carry around. And my reading glasses on the end. So
Man, that's pitiful.
that is my
You are so
solution.
old, Doug.
But if you don't want to magnetize, because this is my original one that I would carry around, it's just holes,
Oh, cool.
right?
That's
Just make
cool.
just bang that together, drill some holes.
Mm-hmm.
Bob's your uncle.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to hold things vertically.
Yeah.
And there is a downside to having magnets because you magnetize all your tools.
Yep.
Not that it bothers me in any way other than when I'm sharpening, that I have to kind of pull off the little dusting of metal, but who cares? But yeah,
Not
this
a big
is
deal.
cheap and easy. You can grab a pallet and drill some holes and bang it together. So,
Yep. Yep.
but
That's exactly my thought.
I have been taking my carvings to my dad's chair upstairs, just to pretend I'm part of the family once in a while. Sit there.
Yeah, with all this new time, your kids your daughter will probably know your face.
Right? But yeah, so I just sit in my chair and I just have that beside me and grab something.
Did you figure out her name yet?
Which one?
Your daughter's first name? I know you were confused last time. I don't know if it's the age.
Does she still live here?
I don't know if it's your old age. I just can't wait for for working from home with my kids here. You know, like you, it'll just be like I'm down in the shop, and then all of a sudden they show up showing me something, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of something. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick before we get off that, I copied.
Yes.
Speaking of copying people, I saw a dude at a carving show with my dad. It was one of the first shows I went to, and he had something like this. Admittedly, not quite. I will give my dad credit on this. It was not quite as nice, but my father decided to build me a nice one. We did it together, but really, whenever my dad and I do anything together, it's mostly him doing it because
of course, yeah,
because he's way better at things like this. So I did turn this part on the lathe though. Oh, very fancy, yes. So yeah, it's just a drawer with a magnet at the back, you know, and it used to have the clear plastic on both sides. This side busted out. This is like 15 years old or 16 or 17 years old now. So, but yeah, it's just got different size slots in the top.
Keep talking.
Yeah, and then it's got some. Unlike Doug's, I've got a little space in between, and that was just the way we did it. So, but now I ended up putting mallets on the inside and strops and stuff, and they kind of stay inside. So I like the idea of having more holes though too for the smaller stuff, like you did there.
But while you were just showing that, I popped in my head like the most obvious is a little tool roll.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the tool roll.
I wasn't thinking that either. I was thinking all fancy, but I was thinking about, because I always wanted to copy your toolbox to take to the bush, but then I don't really want it to carry the bush because it's like a toolbox. I always
then you look like the Woodwright shop guy from PBS.
Yeah,
walking along. It'd be kind of fun.
I need my little my overalls, not my coveralls, my overalls.
Oh yeah, excuse me. Yep.
But I like to throw everything in a backpack, so that's why I like these little wraps because you roll it up and stick it in your bag.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
So, yeah. All I was going to say was, if you want to go on a little tangent on YouTube, punch in wood carving toolboxes. There's a few guys that have done they've gone to shows and walked around and just took pictures of people's toolboxes.
That's fun.
I can't find the one that I was thinking of. There's one here that
Crosscut Wood Carvings does one.
Dennis Stallings, go check out his. He's got 20,000 views on his wood carvers toolboxes at the Roundup. And now Dennis is a good carver, but unfortunately Dennis has passed away. Oh, so he's not making any new videos, but his channel's still got lots of videos on it.
I certainly hope not. If that's the case, if he's passed, that'd be kind of creepy.
But,
Videos from the dead.
So go on a little tangent, and I would recommend Dennis Stallings' Woodcarver's Toolboxes at the Roundup on YouTube.
Cool. Yeah, look at all those. There's all kinds of.
He just goes around and shows carvers' toolboxes. So big fun.
It is fun. I'm watching it right now as we talk, and there's people made my box, but way better, way more spots to put tools.
Yeah. So, all right, man.
That's it, huh?
That's our time.
And No Coffee and Carving Show podcast would be what it is without the some would say angelic strumming of like
your mom would.
My mom does say that. You're right. That's where I thought of that.
That's right. I was just thinking when you said the other day, like, my mom always said I was cute. And I'm not.
Take vitamins, folks. I hope my wife says that too.
Hey, you skip media, but that's okay.
Oh, what's do you want to do? Let's throw it on there.
No, my media is good enough. So
yeah, I don't really have anything either. But
all right. And that's the show, folks.
Bye.